The history of Stoicism philosophy. Stoicism is one of the most influential philosophical schools of thought from ancient Greece and Rome. It has left a lasting mark on Western thought, particularly in areas such as ethics, personal development, and resilience in the face of adversity. The philosophy originated over 2,000 years ago, but remains relevant to modern life due to its emphasis on personal responsibility, emotional resilience, and living in accordance with nature. To understand the development of Stoicism and its key principles, it's important to explore its origins, its key figures, and how it evolved over time. Origins of Stoicism. Stoicism was founded in Athens around 300 BCE by Zeno of Cilium, a wealthy merchant from Cyprus who, after suffering a shipwreck and losing his fortune, turned to philosophy. He was initially attracted to the teachings of Socrates and the Cynics, particularly the belief that virtue is the highest good. Zeno began studying under Crates of Thebes, a prominent Cynic philosopher, but later diverged to form his own school of thought, which became known as Stoicism. The name Stoicism comes from the stoa poikile, or painted porch, a public colonnade in Athens where Zeno and his followers would gather to discuss their ideas. Unlike other schools of thought, Stoicism was designed to be practical, teaching individuals how to live a virtuous life and find inner peace in a world often full of chaos and suffering. The early Stoa, Zeno, Cleanthes, and Chrysippus Zeno of Cilium laid the groundwork for Stoic philosophy, which combined elements from earlier schools such as Cynicism, Platonism, and Aristotelianism. Zeno's ideas on ethics, logic, and physics formed the basis of Stoicism. The Stoics believed that the universe is governed by reason logos, and that human beings, as rational creatures, should align their lives with this reason to achieve eudaimonia, flourishing, or happiness. Cleanthes, Zeno's successor as the head of the Stoic school, helped to preserve and expand Zeno's teachings. Though not as original a thinker as Zeno, Cleanthes contributed to the development of Stoic physics, particularly the idea of divine reason logos as a force that orders the universe. The third major figure in early Stoicism, Chrysippus, is often credited with systematizing and refining Stoicism into the comprehensive philosophical system it became. Chrysippus emphasized logic and epistemology, arguing that all knowledge is derived from sense perception, which, when properly understood, leads to true wisdom. His contributions were so significant that it was often said that, if Chrysippus had not existed, there would be no Stoicism, the Middle Stoa, and the Roman adoption. The next major phase in the history of Stoicism came during the Middle Stoa, a period in which Stoic thought spread beyond Athens to the wider Greek world, eventually reaching Rome. Stoicism began to adapt and blend with other philosophical traditions, particularly Platonism and Aristotelianism. In the Roman world, Stoicism found a receptive audience, particularly among the upper classes and those involved in public life. Stoicism's emphasis on duty, self-discipline, and personal integrity resonated with Roman values. The Romans valued Stoicism because it offered practical guidance for leading a virtuous and resilient life in the face of adversity, whether in politics, military service, or personal affairs. Several key figures emerged during this period. Number 1, Panaetius of Rhodes 185-109 BC, was one of the first Stoic philosophers to bring Stoicism to Rome. He softened some of the more rigid elements of early Stoicism and incorporated aspects of Platonism and Aristotelianism. He also emphasized the importance of social obligations, a theme that would resonate with later Roman Stoics. Number 2, Posidonius of Apamea 135-51 BC expanded on Stoic theories of cosmology, ethics, and the psychology of emotions. His work on the relationship between reason and emotion was highly influential and contributed to Stoicism's adaptability in Roman intellectual circles. The late Stoa, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism reached its zenith in Rome during the period of the late Stoa, with three of its most famous adherents, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These thinkers are known for emphasizing the practical aspects of Stoicism, focusing on how individuals can live virtuously in the face of external challenges. Seneca 4 BC 65 CE. Seneca, a Roman statesman and tutor to the Emperor Nero, was a prolific writer and philosopher. His essays and letters, especially the Letters to Lucilius, offer a personal, accessible account of Stoic philosophy. Seneca emphasized the importance of self-control, ethical integrity, and rationality. He believed that while external circumstances are beyond our control, our reactions to them are not. His writings focus heavily on practical ethics and how Stoicism can be applied to daily life. Epictetus 5135 CE. Born into slavery, Epictetus was later freed and became one of the most important Stoic teachers of his time. His teachings were recorded by his student, Arrian, in the Discourses and the Enchiridion, the Handbook. Epictetus focused on the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. He argued that by focusing solely on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and judgments, we can achieve inner freedom and peace. His teachings on personal responsibility, resilience, and the pursuit of virtue as the highest good have had a profound impact on both ancient and modern thought. Marcus Aurelius 121180 CE. Perhaps the most famous Stoic of all, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor who practiced and recorded his Stoic meditations while facing the immense challenges of ruling an empire. His work, commonly known as the Meditations, is a series of personal reflections on how to live a virtuous life, deal with hardships, and remain true to one's ethical principles despite external chaos. As a Stoic, Marcus Aurelius believed that the universe operates according to a rational order, and that individuals should align themselves with this order through the practice of virtue, moderation, and emotional detachment from the uncontrollable. Decline and legacy of Stoicism. By the 3rd century CE, Stoicism, like many other philosophical schools, began to decline as Christianity rose in prominence throughout the Roman Empire. However, many Stoic ideas were absorbed into early Christian thought, particularly the emphasis on virtue, self-control, and the notion that individuals have a moral duty to live according to divine will. Although the formal Stoic school eventually dissolved, Stoicism experienced a revival during the Renaissance, and its ideas continued to influence modern philosophy, psychology, and self-help literature. Today, Stoicism is often associated with personal resilience and the ability to remain calm and rational in the face of adversity. The rise of modern Stoicism, particularly through the works of authors such as Ryan Holiday, demonstrates how the ancient philosophy continues to be relevant for addressing contemporary challenges. Conclusion: the history of Stoicism is rich with ideas that have stood the test of time. From its beginnings in ancient Greece to its flourishing in Rome and beyond, Stoicism has provided a framework for living a life of virtue, purpose, and inner peace. The teachings of Zeno, Chrysippus, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius remind us that, while we may not be able to control external events, we can control our own thoughts and actions. In doing so, we can lead lives of integrity, resilience, and fulfillment. Stoicism's emphasis on reason, ethics, and emotional discipline continues to resonate with those seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. For